So let's talk about Big Church Day Out 2017. I'm going to play some clips throughout this video and just really talk about it. So I have been to Big Church 3 times now. Once when I was 16 in 2013, I want to say. Once when I was 19, so last year in 2016, and this year 2017. All the clips are from this year, by the way. Yeah. It was an amazing weekend, and I'm sorry this video is so late, but I basically just wanted to talk about my experiences there and just kind of just a comparison within 2 years, because I found Big Church Day Out was a really kind of milestone comparison for me in terms of my journey of recovery. So in 2016, in the middle of May, sort of end to middle of May, with, if you know my videos, when I got signed off work because some stuff happened, my mental health went down very rapidly, very negatively, and I was in a really, really bad place. And I still went to Big Church Day Out. I'd paid for my ticket, I was still going, and it was just sort of, yeah, life. It was a really, really weird weekend. Most people there knew something was up. Some people knew I'd been signed off work, some didn't, because I had booked the time off work anyway. And like some people knew the more big events and why I'd been signed off work. But on a whole, it was just weird. I was very, very still in a negative point in my life. Very much still didn't exactly want to be there. I pushed myself to go and everything, but I was just a bit like there. And I was having quite a lot of anxiety, especially with big crowds. For those of you who don't know, Big Church Day Out is like a music festival type thing. It's like Christian based, and it's got a massive main stage, which is where I spent most of my weekend, and it's on a hill. So the main stage is at the bottom of the hill, and the where you sit, it goes up the hill. So if you want to, you can stand at the bottom of the hill. You can then, as you go back, people bring chairs, and as you go back a bit further, you have little tents, and then like day tents that you can put up, and a bit further you have gazebos. So you know, you can like build your way back and like chill out up at the top, just listen to the music, or be right down the front dancing. And I spent most of my weekend in a little tent up on the hill, hiding from pretty much everything, and not really checking anything out, not really interacting. And I want to thank 2 amazing people who on the second day they came down and they dragged me out of that tent. They took me around the little market stall place, they took me around, they sat with me at the top as well. One of them sat with me at the top because I just wasn't really up for going down, and they were in a similar way, for it's very loud. So the music gets your heart going, and if you've already got anxiety, you've already got your heart going. So it's quite an interesting circumstances, and yeah. And then we get to 2017, and one of my goals throughout the year I'd set shortly after I got back from Big Church last year was that I wanted to push myself. Next year I was going to go and I was going to be down the front, and that's what I did. I wasn't like massively right at the front. During the quieter acts, we had a little bit more movement. We could sit down if necessary, but we were sitting on the grass or our jumpers usually. But during the bigger events, it started crowding around us, and I wasn't sure how I was going to handle that. And actually, it was the first night, so it's a 3-day event. So you get there on the Friday, you set up, and then the music starts on the Saturday and Sunday. And on the Saturday night, so everyone was like, at the end as we were heading back to the 10th, like 2 people mentioned it. They were pretty impressed with how well I coped. So I was like, because I was kind of secretly impressed, but I didn't want to mention it. And so that was really, really good, and people had noticed, and they'd seen the contrast, a lot of the people that had come with me the year before to this year. And it was just such a different event when I was better emotionally and mentally to cope with it. So May encompassed massive changes in my life. 2017, it was a big milestone for me, just general. It's been one of the best months I've had in a long time. I was so so like mentally healthy, and it's not something I'd experienced in so long, and it gave me so much hope to cling on to, and it was just what I needed. And Big Church Day Out encompassed massive amounts of that, and it was just such an amazing weekend. I want to thank all the lovely people that came with me, if any of them are watching. Like, I had so much fun, and if your photo kind of ends up in here, your video, I'm really sorry, but we were in a public place, therefore I can put it online. So yeah, that was just kind of my experience with Big Church Day Out. I think it's an amazing event. If you can go, definitely go. I am planning to book on as soon as possible for next year. How I'm going to afford that when I'm a student, who knows? I managed it this year, so hopefully. And yeah, just keep smiling, keep going. Bye.